to take on this. There's so much more stuff here, and with the Colossus, it's very easy to catch them out of position because people will get over eager with them. The extended thermal lance, now that robo bay's been up since very early on, and it's only just now getting that extended thermal lance. Now I just don't think it's going to be enough. Excellent force field there to block off the units from getting up the ramp. I don't know if the continuing on up the ramp was such a good... Now he's caught, so yeah, that'll be the end of this army. Could be trouble here, although that... Yeah, no, it's just too much for the Immortals to take on. Don't know if that Zealot looked like it was swinging past the force field. That was kind of clever, if it was actually doing that. But again, I think the income tab is going to show the story here. He's such a long way ahead, and has been a long way ahead for a while now. More gateways coming down now. Again, I don't think he has an observer. See, I think both players could be a little bit more... There we go. So Sinks now has another observer. I do think that it would have been better. You need to have more observers. Both players, really, because if one of the things I have found about this Colossus, about people who go for very fast Colossus, is they do occasionally skip the observer. Now, skipping the observer is bad if someone goes Dark Templar, and that's very often what I do when I'm playing. Protoss, and 4 DTs takes on a Colossus, even with the observer. 4 Dark Templar will kill a Colossus, and if one of the players was to switch into Dark Templar, they would just romp through everything. Especially if you got, you know, say 3 DTs stealthed all the way into here. They just one-shot probes if they have any form of upgrades. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing some form of upgrades rather than this mass production of units. You know, his gas is getting a little bit high. Oh, there we go. So, no, he did throw down a Forge. I obviously just missed it because I'm an idiot. Forge is also down for both players, so I missed them both. But, again, the Harvester count is a long way ahead, and I think that if we have a look at the Units tab, 3 Immortals, 10 Stalkers, 4 Zealots versus 9 Zealots, 2 Colossi, 5 Stalkers, and a Sentry. But there are more and more units coming in, and this income is going to definitely allow Sinks to start pulling ahead. He needs to be building more probes. Possibly wouldn't mind a bit more scouting of each other. I mean, especially from multi-sniper's view, because I mean there is, you know, he has no idea that this expansion's up. I don't think. Let's have a look. No, there is no notion as to how long this expansion's been up. And this I was about to make a point and coughed, and now I've forgotten it. But moving into the high yield now, this will go down really quickly. I don't think this army is going to be enough to hold it off. There are a lot of Colossi though, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's just too many units. Whilst this army composition looks more powerful, the best way to counter stuff which is more powerful is to just have a ton of stuff. To quote Day 9 a little bit there. Yeah, so I mean, see, and it's just he's got his forces spread out. He's not really operating correctly. Although because I am barracking for Sinks, I could be a little bit overly critical of multi-sniper and a little bit pro-critical of Sinks. But still, I think, yeah, okay, no, I was going to say, if that Immortal's on good health, I think it can take it, but has he spotted it yet? Has he spotted that hidden Zealot? No, he hasn't. See, he doesn't even know that there's an expansion here. I mean, I'm sure he could assume, but he has no idea that there are so many expansions up. And is he going to see the Zealot? If he sees the Zealot, that'd be kind of awesome. No, he does scout past and skip it. I do think what he's actually thinking is that there is there's an engagement going on now, so we'll ignore the scouting information in a minute. But I don't think there's enough Colossi to take down the Immortals. No, and I think this is pretty much going to be it now. There's no more Colossi on the board, or at least up in the field. Let's go back to everyone so we can see what exactly is going on. I mean, there's 2 Colossus and that's it. There we go. Now he's got some Stalkers, but it's just not going to be enough. again, I wouldn't mind seeing, especially because both players are sort of entering the mid to late game now, a lot better saturation there for one. The gas there, but I think possibly both players. Yeah, both players should really be taking to higher level stuff. This Immortal build has been really good, but I really wouldn't mind. One of the things that I think a lot of players overlook is getting the starport, or what's it called? I have no idea. The aerial unit building thing. To get carriers, because I mean that army, if this had like 2 carriers in it, game would have been over a while ago. But Sinks has a win. And I think the reason why this ended up in a victory for Sinks, to sort of go through a bit of analysis here, is because he teched too quickly, didn't focus on getting units, and that allowed Sinks to put pressure on. The expansions, so having this expansion a lot earlier, and the poor saturation here, I'm sure this would have been just an oversight and he didn't realise, but I mean there's only, well, how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 probes mining minerals here. Now I'm sure he had more, but they were all wiped out at the high yield when they were killed, but I mean, you know, this was in no threat of being attacked without him losing the game. So he should have kept his probes here instead of transferring them to the high yield, and just kept producing probes out of his 2 nexus. But I think the biggest thing that gave this one away was the scouting, lack of scouting for multi-sniper, because if he had seen that he was going for Immortals, he could have changed his own build and put some Immortals into the mix rather than being so heavy on Colossus, because they are armoured. So, but again, because he was so far behind in economy, he was pretty much playing catch-up the whole game. So it's not surprising that Sinks won. And that's all she wrote for this one. So I'm done here.